Hello, spiritual seekers. Carla here. I know it's been a while since I've made a video. I've been really busy trying to work and trying to um, help take care of my mother. Had a lot going on, but I wanted to make a video real quick. And today I want to talk about one of the things that I do, which is evidential mediumship. Now, evidential mediumship is right there. It's right in the name. Evidence. Evidence. They will show you specific memories. They will show you. And when I say they, I'm talking about your loved ones who are transitioned, who are on the other side. There's so many words I don't like using because it implies they're not with you. Like, oh, they died, they passed, they're dead. And they're not dead. They're alive somewhere else. 100%, without a doubt. They are alive somewhere else. And I say this without hesitation because I know it's true. Now, I have been interacting with the invisible world since I was a very young child, as far back as I can remember. I've had some weird shit happen to me my whole life. Things that most people can't explain or whatever, but I know that this is not what this video is about. I want to talk about what evidential mediumship is and what it is not. What evidential mediumship is not is when somebody comes to you and they says, oh, yeah, your grandmother's here. She loves you very much. She's very proud of you. That might come later in the reading. Once you've proven this is who I say it is. Sometimes you might get a name. Sometimes you might get some dates. You might get the cause of passing to the next dimension. But not just that. We're talking about memories of their life. Their personality is going to come through. I'm going to use words and terminology that maybe your loved one used, and they push me to use specific words, and their personality will come through. Like, oh my God, there's no shadow. That's my mom for sure. Nobody uses that word. They'll give me songs. One of the most recent readings that I did, one of my readings last week, I've had a lot of amazing sessions recently. Well, to me, they're usually all amazing, but I've had some difficult sessions because of the way these people have transitioned. It's been tough. And I was doing a reading for a young man, kind of young, sorry, in his 30s. That's young to me because I'm 54. So he was 36, 37. I was describing a tattoo, but it wasn't his tattoo. It was his father's tattoo that he got as a memorial. His father's tattoo, who was not present at the reading. Okay. I don't know who this father is. I have no idea who his dad is. As a matter of fact, a lot of times people will book readings for other people. So I don't even have the name of the person that I'm doing a reading for. I have no idea. I'll have the phone number to call for a FaceTime, or I'll have an email address. And I don't know until the day comes. Like, oh, who am I reading tomorrow? Let me see. Here's the phone number. Here's the email for the Zoom. There's no name here. So when I do my opening, which I do for every reading, regardless if it's mediumship or psychic or past life, I do an opening anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes. I do an opening. I do my spiel, call my people, call your people, whatever. And I start writing things down, things that can be very specific. That is evidential mediumship, my friends. If I tell you about a trip that you took with your loved one 15 years ago, or I start using the kind of language that your loved one used, or things that they shared with you, very specific memories, very specific things that happen, things that you cannot research. That's evidential mediumship, especially when the personality of the person comes through in a reading. Those are things that cannot be looked up. You cannot look up a personality. It is not possible. Now, there are times when we as a medium may not make the connection that we want to make with that specific loved one or soul on the other side. Sometimes the connection's weak, and it's not the fault of the person who is on the other side. We as mediums have not raised our vibration high enough, or our energies clash. They just don't mesh. They don't mesh. It's no different than if you're here in the physical and you don't get along with somebody. You don't get along with them very well. You won't communicate well. If you are too different, your energies do not mesh. The communication will not be as clear. I'm not saying it can't be done, just saying it makes it a little bit more difficult. Evidential medium is exactly what it sounds like it should be. Evidential. Okay. I have told people, go look in the shed underneath this can of paint or whatever. There's a key there. How? Because I'm seeing it in my mind's eye. The person on the other side is showing me a video. They're showing it to me. Then the sitter will say, no, that's not possible or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then session ends. They go to the shed in the back out of curiosity or whatever. They didn't even know there was a can of paint there or whatever. They look and they're like, fuck. Wow, man, trippy. So be careful. There's a lot of people calling themselves mediums and psychics on social media, things like TikTok and Instagram. And they're calling themselves evidential mediums. They might not even know what that means. I'm not saying all of them. There's a lot of legit ones on there. And I know TikTok has exploded with mediums and psychics. It has. Just be careful. Be careful. You know, there's a lot of people claiming and charging for something that they cannot do. They can't do it. And even the best mediums and psychics sometimes have an off day. You know, we're people too. We are people too. We have our own set of problems. And sometimes some days are a little more difficult than others. You know, it is. So keep that in mind. I welcome questions. If anybody has any questions about anything, please don't hesitate to ask. One of my, or a couple of the videos that are my most popular have to do with suicide, and I get bombarded with comments or questions. Sometimes I get some nasty email from people because they just don't understand. And yeah, if anybody has anything that they want me to cover, if I have information about that subject, I will be more than happy to share. I love helping people connect to their loved ones. I know that there's no such thing as death. We use the word and we use dying as a word. But I'm here to tell you 100% without a doubt, they are more alive than we are. You will be reunited with your loved ones when it's your turn. They will be waiting there for you. In the meantime, I know it sucks because you feel like you've been abandoned. You feel like you've been left, but you haven't. They are around you. They're around. Look for your signs and your symbols. Too many people, they're oblivious or they're grieving so hard that they're missing the signs. They're missing the symbols. They're missing it. And it sucks. You know, it does. I try to avoid using the word death and dying. I try, but sometimes that's the English language. That's what we have. They are alive and well at a very high vibrating frequency in another dimension, watching you, interacting with you, trying to get your fucking attention. And it can be difficult. You've got to vibrate higher if you want to connect. I mean, a lot of times they can still poke through to our world, even though you're not vibrating at a very high dimension. But if you practice and you try, you'll get more messages. You need to remember love is the highest vibrating frequency there is. So if you act of love and come from love, and I know it's hard to be like that all the time. I'm not saying you got to be there 24/7. We're in human form. They know. We're in human form, and your spirit guides know, the ascended masters know. They know we're here in human form, and we vibrate at a low frequency because we are solid. But if you raise your frequency and your vibration, use music, use laughter, try to use love as much as you can. It will help you. I'm not saying you're never going to get pissed off or you're not going to be sad or anything like that. Trying to tell somebody to never get angry is ridiculous because it happens. Okay. The most important thing you need to know is that your loved one has just transitioned from the physical to a high vibrating place, and that is where they live. They are living their life there, having new experiences, learning, evolving, and doing what they love. So if they loved going to the beach, they're at the beach. I use this background because I love the water and I love the beach and I love waves. Anything that has to do with surfing, getting knocked down by waves, boogie boarding, surfboards, you name it. And I always tell people that when I move back home with my family, I'm going to have a beach house. You can create your reality when you go back home. So if you love the water, if you love the mountains, if you loved golfing, if you love playing tennis, riding horses, being surrounded with animals, that's another thing I want to have. I want to be surrounded with animals, and I want to work with animals when I go back home. You can do that. Finish your mission here, whatever it is. You might not think you have a mission, but you do. I know this video has turned into a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but let's tie it all up in a bow. Go back to evidential mediumship. Evidential mediumship, it has it right there in the title. You will have evidence of who you are connecting with, and that's it. It's not just, this is your grandma and I love you and I'm so proud of you. It's, this is your grandma and I see how you are not sure about continuing medical school. You're thinking about dropping out or not dropping out. Let's not use that word. You're thinking about, you know what? I think I want to be a lawyer. I think I want to practice family law, or I think I want to go be a counselor or whatever. Or maybe you're switching from architecture to engineering or whatever. And they say, I see you're having a really hard time. I saw you in your car the other day. You had your hands on your face. You were crying. Guns N' Roses was playing in the background. And this has happened. This is an example. This isn't just something I'm pulling out of my ass. Okay? Of what I've been shown before. I'm using an example. Guns N' Roses is playing in the background and you're crying with your hands going, I don't know what to do. And Grandma, you always used to help me. I would come to you with my problems. Grandma's sitting right there. They heard every word. They saw everything that happened. They know what's going on. And then it comes out in a reading. That specific. That is evidential medium, my friend. That is evidential mediumship right there. Not just your grandmother's here and she loves you. She'll tell you that after you get the evidence, because that's an important part of the reading as well, is the messages that comes. And it might just be as simple as saying, I love you. I'm with you. But you got to get that first part first. Okay? You got to get that first part first to know, hey, this chick's for real, or this woman's for real. She's connecting with my grandmother. And she's using words that she would have used, or whatever. Pick your mediums carefully. And no, yes, we do have off days. We're human. It happens. So I hope you guys have a good day. If you have any ideas, or if you want me to cover something specific, let me know and I will make a video. Okay, I will make a video. Doesn't matter what it's about. If I have information about a specific subject, more than likely I know I will have answers for you. Shoot me in a comment, put it in a comment, email me or whatever. All my information is on my YouTube channel. You can email me. If you leave a comment and say, hey, I want you to talk about what do they do in the afterlife? Or I want you to talk about the crystal amethyst. Whatever it is. I want you to talk more about karma or past lives or parallel lives or whatever. Tell me. And I will make a video about it, explaining it to the best of my ability. Okay. Sometimes I have a little bit of an issue speaking. That is because I have a permanent head injury from a car accident where I went through my back windshield. All this right here, I can't barely touch it. So sometimes I mix up my words. Sometimes I might sound like a idiot or whatever. I'm sorry. That's how I talk now. But I get the point across. So if you have anything that you want me to cover, let me know. I'm thinking about doing lives as well. But in order for me to do a live, I have to have all my ducks in a row. I have to do it ahead of time. It can't be something impromptu because I am a caregiver. So I am thinking about doing some lives. If you are interested in me doing lives, let me know, because I'm not going to do it if nobody wants me to do it. I know I can do them on YouTube. TikTok, you need 1,000 subscribers. I barely post on TikTok anymore. I think I got 400 and something. I would like to go live on TikTok and do live psychic questions. I love psychic readings because I love to see what happens after. When I do a psychic reading for people, they tell me about how accurate I am, that everything has happened the way that I've said it. It puts a little pressure on me because they keep coming back for more and more readings. And they're like, but you told me everything that was going to happen and everything happened just the way you said. And I'm like, okay, but you got to realize that no psychic is 100% accurate. Things can change. The pressure gets put on because they're like, no, everything you said happened. I'm like, okay, but just, cut me a little slack in case it doesn't ever happen. If I'm doing a reading for you and the stuff doesn't come out, remember of all the other 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 readings I did where everything was perfect. So anyways, let me know if you're interested in me doing any lives, like Q&As and stuff like that. I would love to do lives for psychic readings and psychic questions or whatever. So anyways, until next time, hopefully we'll be soon. It depends, but everybody have a good day. Ciao, Bellas.